Good morning children, Sairam. Now today in English we'll be proceeding with the next part of our grammar chapter, that is verbs. Now in the first three parts of verbs we have learnt about the different types of verbs. Now which were the different types we have learnt? Yes, we have learnt about transitive and intransitive verb, finite and non-finite, direct and indirect object. So now let's proceed with the last part of the remaining chapter. Before I start, again I would remind you all, please take your book and pen and sit along with you so that you can write down the example sentences and also copy down the definitions. Okay, so let's begin with the next part of verbs, that is part 4. Now what are we going to learn in this topic? Read the following sentences, children. You are playing a losing game. Barking dogs seldom bite. The faded flowers are thrown away. His broken leg was plastered. Now you can see in these sentences the words losing, barking, faded, broken, they are all action words or they are the verbs. Now we are going to learn about the remaining parts of the verb. Now here you see, if you ask a question, you are playing a losing game. Which game? Yes, losing. Then what are we talking about? Game. So game is a noun. Second, barking dog seldom bites. Which dogs bite? Which dog seldom bite? Barking. Okay, and dog is a noun. The faded flowers are thrown away. Which flowers are thrown away? Faded. And flowers is a noun. His broken leg was plastered. Which leg was plastered? Broken leg. And leg is a noun. So these words, they here act as adjective and followed by a noun. Now what are these verbs called as? So underlined words. The words underlined in these sentences are participles. What are they called as? Participles. Participles are non-finite verbs. Now today we are learning about the types of non-finite verbs. Okay. So out of which the first type is participles. And so participles are non-finite verbs. These verbs, they behave as adjective and are followed by nouns. So we have seen in the previous sentences, losing game, faded flowers, barking dogs. Okay, so they act as an adjective and are followed by noun. So they are called as participles. Now participles are of two types. Okay, so which are the two types of participles? One is the present participle and second is the past participle. Okay, so these are the two types of participles. We are going to study each in detail. Okay, now what is a present participle? The present participle, it is formed by adding ing to the base form of the verb. So when you add ing to the base form of the verb, it becomes a participle. Okay, for example, steal. So if you add ing, it will be stealing. What is the base form? Steal. Yes, hear. So hearing. Base form is hear. You add ing, it will be hearing. Okay. Then see, seeing. Base form is see. When you add ing, it is seeing. Correct? So this is how the present participle is formed. Okay. Well, I've understood. Next. The next type of non-finite of the participles is the past participle. Now what is the past participle? A third form participle is called past participle. Now what is the third form? Like see, bring, brought, see, seen, go, gone. Okay, so this is the third form. Like you have the base form, then present participle and the past participle. So the third form of the participle is called as the past participle. Yes, we write now in your English notebooks after every lesson. At the end of every lesson we write this, right? base form, then present participle and the past participle. So now it's clear to you what is a present participle and the past participle. Yes? Okay. So now let's proceed further. All verbs have the following 5 forms except the defective verbs. So all the verbs, they have this 5 forms except the defective verbs. Now which are the 5 forms? Present tense, past tense, past participle, present participle, infinitive. Yes? So which are the 5 forms? Present tense, past tense, past participle, present participle and infinitive. Okay? So these are the 5 forms. Except there are some defective verbs, they do not have these 5 forms. Now which are those defective verbs? Let's see. Those defective verbs are can, will, shall, may, must, ought, need, do. So these verbs have only present tense and past tense. Okay, they don't have present participle and past participle. They have only present tense and past tense. Correct? Okay, this much everybody has understood, right? Now, let's see further. As I told you, we are learning about the types of non-finite verb. So, in the first type, we have learnt about the participles. Okay, and also we have learnt about the types of participles. Now, the second type of non-finite verb is the gerund. Okay, now how do we identify a gerund? Let's see. Look at the following sentences, children. Walking is good for health. Singing is my hobby. It is a wise saying. So here you see walking, singing, saying. They are verbs, right? All the underlined words above are ing verbs. To look at, but they behave as nouns. Now as we have seen in the participles, they behave as adjective, right? So here the gerund, they behave as nouns. Like walking is good for health. What is good for health? Walking. Singing is my hobby. What is my hobby? Singing. It is a wise saying. Yes? So again you can see these words walking, singing and saying, they act as nouns. They behave as nouns. So they are called as gerund. A gerund is a noun formed from a verb by adding ing. It is a verbal noun. So what is a gerund? It is a noun formed from a verb. Okay? So verb is walk. When you add ing, so it is a gerund. Yes, it is a noun which is formed by a verb. So it is a verbal noun. Yes? This is understood, children? Okay? How to identify a gerund? Don't get confused between participles and gerund. Make it very clear. Participles act as adjective and gerund act as noun. Correct? So participles, we ask the questions which, and here we ask what. Correct? So you have understood the difference, right? Okay. Now let's see further. Use of the gerund. How is the gerund used in different ways, different forms? A gerund, it can be used as subject of a verb. Now what is that subject of a verb? Let's see. First one. Swimming is a good exercise. Gardening is a good hobby. So it is the subject. What is a good exercise? Swimming. What is a good hobby? Gardening. So here it acts as a subject. Okay? It is used in a form of a subject. Second, it is also used as an object. Like, stop talking at once. He is not good at reading or writing. Okay? So here the gerund is used in the form of an object. Correct? Next, which is the other use of gerund? Let's see. Object of a preposition. So gerund is also used as an object of a preposition. I am tired of waiting. Children are very fond of playing. Yes? So here you can see waiting, playing, they are used as an object of preposition of. Correct? Understood? Then fourth way how it is used, it is used as a complement of a verb. Seeing is believing. What he needs is a beating. So again here it is acting as a complement, okay, which completes the sentence, right? Seeing is believing. What he needs is a beating. Correct? So you have understood how the gerund is used in different forms. Like first it is used as a subject, it can be used as an object, it is used as an object of a preposition, it is used as a complement of a verb. Then it is also used as a prohibition. No smoking, no parking here. Okay, so it can be used as a prohibition. And sixth, an activity after the verb. It is also used as an activity after the verb. For example, we will go hunting tomorrow. Sushil will go riding this afternoon. So go is a verb and hunting is used in the form of activity after the verb go. Here again Sushil will go riding. So riding is an activity and it is used after the verb go. So it is used in the form of an activity. So we have seen the 6 different ways or the uses of a gerund. Okay. So let's see further what it is. I hope this much all have understood, right? The gerund and the infinitive both can used as subjects and objects of verbs. So they both can be used as subjects and objects of verb. How? Let's see. Just have a look at the infinite difference in infinitive and gerund, how they can be used as subject and object of verbs. See the first sentence in infinitive. To give is to get. Next, to see is to believe. Then, to do is to learn. Right? So, which is the infinitive here? To give, to see, to do. Right? Now, let's see the gerund. Giving is getting. So, how it is used in gerund? To give is to get, is giving is getting. Then, to see is to believe, seeing is believing. And next, to do is to learn, doing is learning. Okay? So, you can see the gerund and the infinitive both can be used as subjects and objects of verbs. Okay? I think so far everything is clear in your mind, children. The types of non-finite verbs, the forms, the types of participles, and also the ways or the uses of gerund in different forms. Correct? Okay. Now, there are certain words like the verbs. The verbs like avoid, dislike, enjoy, hate, intend, stop, etc. They take gerunds after them. Okay? How is that? See. I dislike cheating altogether. We enjoy playing games. I avoid talking to him. Stop writing at once. So you can see these verbs like avoid, dislike, enjoy, hate, intend, stop, they take gerunds along with them. Like I dislike cheating. So here which is the verb? Dislike, and it is followed by a gerund cheating. Yes, we enjoy playing. So enjoy playing. Avoid talking. Stop writing. Correct? Yes. So far everything is understood, children? Okay. Now gerunds are used after phrases. Now which are the phrases? For example, is no use and is no worth. So how can they be used in a sentence? Like see, it is of no use going there. The playground is not worth playing due to rain. Okay. So they can be used after a phrase. Now which is the phrase? Is of no use, and the gerund going is used after the phrase is of no use. Then the playground is not word. So is not word is a phrase and the gerund is used after playing. Correct? Yes. So I think this much you all have understood, children. So this is what we have learnt about verbs. Today we have learnt about the types of non-finite verbs, in which we have learned the two different types, that is the participles and the gerund. Then in participles also we have learned two types, the present participle and the past participle. And in gerund we have learned about how the gerund is used in different forms. So participles, they act as adjectives and the gerunds, they behave as noun. Okay, so here we end with the chapter of verbs today. Yes, go through the videos again and just revise the chapter so that the topic will be fixed in your mind. You will not get confused. Okay, so thank you, children.